that he does, they will do the opposite.
They want to overthrow the government, but how do you plan to do that? Ideologically, they're not going to win.
Let's overthrow the government with more government.
Yeah.
Against the police state.
Alright guys, so the march has commenced. We are now heading down to Washington Square Park. You can see that there are many refusefascism.org signs here. And it's largely peaceful so far, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited about that.
Get it through your head.
Exciting stuff. Let me see if we can get. So we got a Trump supporter here. We can see. Hi.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right.
Lose my hat, man.
So what brings you guys out? Do you mind if I film?
A little bit. Yeah, it's him.
So, okay. Oh, I don't want to butt in on anyone's conversation.
Suppression of free speech.
No, I just want to get your opinion. Why are you out here today? What are your thoughts?
Really, we're marching against fascism.
Yeah.
So our core belief is similar to their belief that we should refuse fascism, and we think that the anti-fascist movement is the most fascist movement in America right now for a couple different reasons. Can I get one?
Suppression of free speech.
So have you had any conversations with anyone that opposes you that have been civil? Yeah.
Roy, Andrew.
Yeah. Sorry, I would like to shake your hand as well, but I'm also trying to record for my YouTube channel. But
yeah,
so what were you guys talking about?
We were talking about the EPA and like some of Trump's energy policies.
You're anti-Trump for the most part. Maybe it's not as simplistic as that.
Yeah. I don't like to label myself in any direction or another.
Yeah, sure.
I'm an individualist anarchist, so I'm really just kind of against everyone in general.
Maybe I can ask you, what do you think about anarcho-communism, which I heard someone espousing earlier? Is that even a possibility?
I believe so.
I think that just means like people that share, right?
Yeah. I'm personally not a fan of communists in general myself, mostly through my interactions with people who declare themselves as such over the past few years. I feel like they talk a lot about ideology and theory, and they may be well-read, but they don't understand direct action.
So you're anarchist?
Yes.
Straight up? Just no government?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to, my joke is that I'm an isolationist anarchist. Okay. My dream is to just be left alone and never have to talk to anybody or see anybody ever again.
So that sounds more similar to the sort of don't tread on me, sort of more conservative principle, if I'm not mistaken.
I suppose so. Unpopular view, I think that anarchism is actually a very conservative movement, even though people put it on a far left kind of thing, or a liberalist kind of movement. But that's more of my nihilistic bent in that the foundation of reality is nothing. So
what do you think about the views of most of the people that are here at the march and refuse fascism in particular? Do you think Trump is fascistic and the regime is fascistic?
Well, to speak of the people here, I'm not entirely sure. I came out here to see what people had to say, just to see if this is something I wanted to be a part of. Unpopular opinion, I'm not entirely opposed to the idea of fascism or something in general, only because I don't know much about the Italian futurists, but if we could just replace ultra-nationalism with ultra-environmentalism, maybe there's a way to reclaim this, like, bad word, which is part a joke, part provocative. Is there anything
you agree with the Trump policies on?
I don't believe so. I mostly just try to stay out of government affairs. I find this whole debacle to be like way more boring than I had anticipated last year. Like now I've given my life up to the West Wing because fiction's like more interesting than reality. The thing that bothered me is being an ultra-environmentalist, like removing EPA regulations and hiking up the prices to national parks. That's the one that really kind of got me, because as much as I hate government, the things that I think that they actually did right were establishing the national parks and just kind of like the countrywide education system, even if like that is kind of, it's got its own faults.
Well, that is an interesting topic, because if you want less government and anarchy, you would want naturally not the government, which you find to be defunct in many ways, to not intervene and be responsible for helping the environment.
Yeah, and that's where the rub really comes in, because like if everything's free in that sense, people who have money will take over the parks and strip mine them, do that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right. Do you think more can be done in the private sector for the world and the earth, and maybe even has been done?
By private sector,
then yeah,
like corporate-wise?
Private, yeah, exactly.
Yes. I mean, looking at the vague knowledge that I have about privatization of water in South America, and
The fake knowledge?
No, the limited knowledge that I have
gotcha.
about like privatization of water in South America and things like that. I believe if that was done in order to conserve water for everybody, instead of like privatizing it to sell and cash in on water shortages, like if there was an inverse of that, it would be kind of beneficial. And I guess that's how the private sector could alleviate that situation.
Yeah.
Because one of my driving views of anarchism is like the old adage, we're all gonna die, so like why bother fighting? And in this case, we're all gonna die. Why bother fighting now? We can enjoy this little bit of peace that we have, because in 30 years we're going to be fighting over water.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Take care. Here, I'll give you a thanks. All right. So you heard it first.
So everything that he does, they will do the
They want to
opposite.
overthrow the government, but how do you plan to do that? Ideologically, they're not going to win.
Let's overthrow the government with more government.
Yeah.
It's fighting fire with fire, right? I mean, it's so stupid, man.
It's like Obama trying to fix the economy. Let's get more debt.
Do they know? I wonder if these people know that there are like 5,000 KKK members in this country, and they're running around shouting about the KKK. Like, when's the last time you heard the KKK
Everybody
do
on the
anything?
alt-right is
Here's the
KKK.
thing also about that. The KKK, the white supremacists, are actually socialists.
Yeah.
They don't understand that, and they call it right wing. But right wings, like conservative, they want limited government.
Yeah.
They don't want more government.
Yeah.
That's what the KKK was. That's what Nazi stands for. It's an acronym
National
for
Socialist.
the National Socialist German Workers Party.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's funny because it's
Now I am, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wish I was recording before, but yeah.
That's cool. But it's funny. It's like what we witnessed in Charlottesville.
You guys want to come with us? We're about to just go in there.
All right, yeah.
Into the crowd? I'm about to go in there too.
Might be hostile. But yeah, but what happened in Charlottesville? It's kind of like what happened in history. It's where we're in Germany. The National Socialists, the Nazis, were competing with the communists for power in Germany. Yeah. And of course, that's where the Nazis blamed the Reichstag, the burning of the Reichstag, on the communists, and that was how they consolidated their power.
Once defeated, they joined each other.
Exactly.
A lot of these people are talking
same
about
ideology, different method.
A lot of these people are talking about how Trump is fascist. I wish they could meet someone who lived under Mussolini or Hitler and like survived, or even survived the gulags in Russia, and like Lenin.
You don't even need to go that bad. Go find someone from Venezuela and ask them.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Jump in Venezuela, see how communism works out for them.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to bring it here, but they have no idea. They're highly misinformed of what the hell they're actually asking for.
You know, it's one thing to argue against Trump and maybe certain policies on immigration or whatever, but it's another thing to advocate communism when clearly it's not something that's worked anywhere. It's been tried, it's been tested.
Let's overthrow government by adding in more government.
Yeah, overthrow government by adding more government. Yeah. Are you guys marching? Are you walking?
After they're done, we're gonna go.
Yeah. I don't
want to.
I don't want to
get right in the middle of it.
I might get that virus. I might catch liberalism.
You'll catch liberalism. Well,
I already had that flu. I want it again.
That's another problem with the term. Like, liberalism doesn't mean to these people what it used to mean to actual liberals, like classical liberals.
It's wordplay. That's all it is.
Liberalism to them is progressivism. Liberalism to them is open borders, do whatever, everyone fucks everybody, pretty much. Yeah, that's what it seems like.
It's a hippie utopia with bad policies.
Yeah.
So